Did you know that in Santa Clara County, there are laws that protect you from unfair rent hikes, wrongful evictions, and bad park leases? If you're living in or thinking about buying a mobile home in this area, you need to know these rules before signing anything. Stick with me and I'll walk you through your rights, how to avoid the park lease traps, and what to do if you feel like you've been taken advantage of. I'm Franco with Franco Mobile Homes. As a mobile home expert, I've helped hundreds of mobile homeowners navigate the tricky legal world of park leases, rent control, and tenant rights. So let's get started. And at the end, I'll give you one big tip to protect yourself when signing a new lease. Step one is understanding Santa Clara County mobile home rent control. That title is tricky because there's multiple different cities in the Santa Clara County, but it's important to understand the specific city guidelines around rent control in your area. One of the biggest protections for mobile home owners is rent control. So here's what you need to know. Many parks in Santa Clara County are rent controlled. This means park owners can't randomly increase your rent as much as they want, but it's going to be specific to the city that mobile home park is. Rent hikes are limited to a set percentage each year, typically tied to inflation or CPI. One pro tip is always check if the mobile home park falls under a city or a county rent control ordinance. It could really save you thousands of dollars over time. Step two, protections against unfair evictions. Mobile home parks can't just kick you out for no reason. In California, park owners must have legal reason to evict you. The only legal reasons that they can evict a homeowner include these few items: non-payment of rent, and even then you must be given the proper notice and timeline. The other is violation of park rules, like causing major disturbances or safety issues to your neighbors. The third is the park closing down, and the fourth is failure to maintain your home properly. And this is a very popular one and a sensitive one, but you must be given a chance in proper fairness to have a timeline to fix the issue first. One quick tip is if you ever get an eviction notice, don't immediately panic. Get help. Talk to a mobile home expert. Our team always tries to give the best advice. Working with somebody that's familiar with this is definitely going to give you better advice than a regular real estate agent out there. And tip number three, warning: if you are buying a mobile home in a park, the lease is just as important as the home itself. Here are some red flags to watch out in your mobile home park lease. Long-term lease versus short-term lease. Now, there's a lot of debate on this, and make sure you get the right advice on this, but sometimes long-term leases may look attractive, but it might look horrible in the long run. So it's important to understand how those leases work. Check in your lease if there's a market rate adjustment clause. This means that they can increase rent based on what they think the market rate would be. In most of Santa Clara County, this isn't acceptable, and there's protections on the rent control, but it's very important to know the city and the county rules for doing that. The next tip is hidden fees. Some parks charge extra for utilities, extra for maintenance, or even extra for guest parking. So understand what those fees are so you know what you're moving into. One quick tip is to always ask for a copy of the lease before you buy the home. Bring it to a mobile home expert or a lawyer to review it. Or if you're working with a mobile home expert already, they should know how to review it, what to look out for, and they'll be able to help you throughout that process. Tip number four, what to do if you're facing a legal issue. If you think your park isn't following the law, here's what to do. Step one is gather all the paperwork and any proof that might prove that whatever that argument is, the lease agreement, the notices, any handwritten communication or emails or texts. Step two is to talk to your city's mobile home rent control board or their housing board. There you might be able to get a lot of the advice you need, or you can also reach out to us. Step three is contact the tenant rights attorney or the local mobile home advocacy groups in your area. For these types of things, when you get warnings or notices, the big tip is don't wait long. A lot of these legal issues have a deadline to it, and if you don't do something within that deadline, it could mean that you're releasing your rights and giving up whatever it is to that park. One last bonus tip is the biggest mistake I see new mobile home buyers make is not talking to a mobile home expert about how that community is, what their rules are in that park, what's the vibe of the people that you've helped move into that park. Do they enjoy it? Do they like it? What don't they like about it? Understanding this and asking the mobile home expert is really gonna help you dive in. Don't get too attracted to how perfect the home is, how attractive the space rent is, but understand what is that vibe. How often does a park raise the rent? Are there any hidden fees? How is the park management? And how fair are they when it comes to working with them? What is their reputation? So these are big things that you should really consider when it comes to buying a mobile home or if you're living in a mobile home park already. That's all for this video. Thanks all for watching. If you like our stuff, hit subscribe, hit like. Our team would really appreciate it. And thanks for watching Franco Mobile Homes. Take care.